Hello, dear friends. It has taken me longer than usual to prepare this article due to the dispersion of news. We know that life is in stages. If you are going through out a difficult stage, remember that it is just that stage. But don't let it pass without learning, growing, maturing, and becoming stronger. There is always something good in every stage of life. I remember a Joan Baez song that still moves me because it enunciates the Buddhist doctrine of impermanence to see the world with relativity. Where have all the flowers gone long time ago? Where have all the young girls gone long time ago? Where have all the husbands gone long time ago? Where have all the soldiers gone long time ago? Where have all the cemeteries gone to long time ago? Where have all the flowers gone long time ago? Opinion piece. A busy week begins. There is a spiritual battle for existence. Faith is sorely needed in these unique and confusion times. Fool's gold discovered to be not as foolish as once thought. Singapore, IMF and World Bank prepare digital currency. Economist trashes Bitcoin and calculates its value to be equal to zero. UK banks the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance. Let's start. This week has started not with one notable news, but with many notable news. The implementation of the new Basel Accord, consolidating the gold standard in all financial systems around the world, is supposed to have just begun. The new Basel banking rules require banks to maintain higher levels of capital, with minimum common equity holdings in banks increasing from 2 to 7% of risk-weighted assets. All is not well on the financial front, because irresponsible people stay afloat and simply move on to the next sinking ship. They simply close a chapter and start over again. Also, starting this week, major forces of light operations are supposed to begin that will take place both underground and on the surface of the planet starting Monday, June 28th, which could trigger drastic escalation according to the brief message to the surface population issued on Friday, June 25 by the 2012 portal of the Intelligence Center for the Picture of Light. Secret operations. There are operations underway that will require even more strict restrictions than we are seeing now. The military must do what it has to do. We have always expected our countries to be completely shut down when the announced arrests take place. Closed borders, no air traffic, locked down like a bug in a rug so the bad guys can't get away. Communication disruptions. With tunnels destroyed, the globalists can't hide underground in their bunkers. And with Space Force patrolling the skies, they can't jump in their spacecraft and leave, or they will be shot down, as many have been. With the recent airline cancellations supposedly as a result of ailing pilots, I think the white hats are easing everyone into a completely grounded situation for the near future. The plan is quite brilliant. We understand that the military posturing we have hearing is intended to come to a head in an apparent but carefully crafted war scenario. As we have said, it is part of the scare events that were planned to get the attention of the freeloaders, or eavesdroppers and move to the next phase of the plan. That would cause the armies of the world to go into mass arrest mode to remove their corrupt officials. Whatever happens, stay calm and know that the good guys are in control. This is the famous storm foretold, and we will come out the other side into a whole new world. Characters. John McAfee flipped a kill switch when the announcement was made that he had committed suicide in his jail cell. It seems that such a switch has been flipped and is transferring documents throughout binary code non-stop, and all the information is expected to come out soon. Romana Di Lulo in Canada says that quantum medical beds were donated to humankind a long time ago, but were stolen and hidden by the dark side of the force to continue the business we all know. She reveals that they now have control over these technologies and they are being mass-produced for the people of the world, but secrecy is being maintained. London is holding more protests against the blockade. Many people are involved in this movement now. There are also protests in Scotland. Unfortunately, the direction of the story about the collapsed Surfside condo in Florida is blaming to the faulty structure of the building. It seems highly unlikely that it is from a cracked slab or something minor and gradual. Why would it collapse so quickly and so completely? Why would it disintegrate as it did it? There is a deep fire, they say, and smoke complicates rescue efforts. Nothing is as it seems. Those of us who understand that faith have a better idea of what's going on. This is a spiritual battle for our very existence, and we are engaged, open-minded, and curious. Faith is sorely needed in these unique and confusing times. Tactics. One of the most compelling tactics of the dark side has been their method of creating their own opposition or co-opting those who might challenge their position or attempt to enlighten the populace about their rigid system or the means by which it was achieved. Evil triumphs when good men do nothing, and you, our leaders, have chosen to do nothing. You have let this madness go on far too long. Let today be the day that everything changes, and let us finally begin the amazing trip to take our rightful place in the cosmos. And when we have the winners who even criticize the coalition for not doing this fast enough, seemingly unconcerned about the obstacles they face on a daily basis. When the time is right, we will be ready to react in whatever direction is necessary to achieve the desired outcome for the greater good. Faith, trust, patience are the tools we have to complete what we set out to do with our hearts and minds. Patience is a virtue. Having virtue is a sign of a good moral being. Good moral beings have the power to overcome evil and change the world. Puffiness says, there is hope, yes, and things are happening, and many are wanting very much to see this change, but we don't see it happening yet. The screws are being tightened on the whole mess, and the ability to move things around has changed enormously as the communication system is monitored and the algorithms are a mess. There are there are a lot of finance gurus behind the funds, and also in the banks, plus the big guys are trying to strangle the whole economy in ways you are only now beginning to recognize. Cutting off the supply of food, water, electricity, oil and gas, electronics, and watching everything become pathetic of all kinds. Again, we told you this was going to happen. It will get more complicated than you see it now, at least for a while. There was a promise that it wouldn't last long, and that promise is still realistic. Just hold your horses and make the necessary adjustments. Be prepared and have fun, always attentive, aware, and making decisions that are best and most important to you. There are elements that are struggling with all the dirty tricks they are coming up with and working their way through. So, sending light and shedding light to all corners and all people is a must. Make sure you are doing everything you can. Make the effort to stay the course. Do the work, do what you have to do, but work with the invisible. The moment we stop fighting for each other is the moment we lose our humanity. Central bank digital currency. Singapore, IMF and World Bank joint efforts to create central bank digital currency, according to Max Gorbachev. The rise of cryptocurrencies has sparked central banks' interest in creating digital currencies. A recent survey conducted by the Bank for International Settlements revealed that almost all central banks have considered issuing a digital currency. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and other supranational organizations have joined forces to create a central bank digital currency for retail use. According to a statement posted on its website, Singapore and its partners have launched a competition that they believe will improve payment efficiency and promote financial inclusion. In quotes, a retail central bank digital currency built for next generation financial rails has the potential to increase payment efficiency, enhance financial inclusion, and support the broader digitization drive in the economy, reads the statement issued by Singapore. As mentioned earlier, central banks in several countries have been considering issuing digital currencies. Earlier this month, the Bank of England announced that it had been reviewing the prospects for the digital pound. The Federal Reserve and the European Central Bank have also been investigating digital currencies, while China has been testing its digital yuan in various parts of the country. Fool's gold. It has been discovered that fool's gold is not as foolish as previously thought. Pyrite, sometimes called fool's gold because of its resemblance to that precious metal, could see its value rise now that a group of researchers has published a method for extracting the tiny gold particles that may have been trapped inside the mineral. Gold ends higher, making back-to-back gains. Gold futures close higher Monday for the second straight session, with prices extending their move higher after posting the first weekly gain in 4 weeks. Russia's gold mining giant plans to boost precious metal production amid rising prices. The price of gold per ounce soared in 2020 as global investors rushed to buy the precious metal as a safe haven asset at a time when the global economy plunged into a sudden crisis caused by blockades. Russia's largest gold mining company, Polius, has announced plans to increase precious metal production over the next 2 years. In 2021, the company expects more modest results compared to the previous year. Crypto coins. UK bans world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance. Britain's financial watchdog has ordered one of the world's largest crypto exchange networks, Binance, to shut down all regulated activities in the UK. The ban comes amid increasing scrutiny of digital assets around the world. Mexico says cryptocurrencies are not money. Mexican financial authorities said Monday that crypto assets are not legal tender in Mexico and are not considered currencies under existing laws, warning that financial institutions that deal in them are subject to sanctions. An economist trashes Bitcoin and calculates its value to be equal to zero. Renowned economist, analyst and mathematician Nassim Taleb, who a few years ago praised Bitcoin, has once again criticized the popular cryptocurrency, saying that its real value is equal to zero. In quotes, in its current version, despite the hype, Bitcoin failed to satisfy the notion of a currency without government. It cannot be a store of value in the short or long term. It cannot operate as a reliable inflation hedge. And worst of all, it does not even remotely constitute a protection vehicle for catastrophic episodes, he said. Economy. Oil falls 2%. Oil prices fell 2% to a one-week low on Monday after hitting their highest level since 2018 earlier in the session. Frankfurt bunker headcount falls despite Brexit boost. Banking jobs in the German financial capital of Frankfurt are in decline despite a Brexit boost, according to a study by German lender Helaba. Headcount at the city's financial institutions will shrink by 5% by the end of 2023 to around 62,200 people as a result of cost-cutting measures, Helaba predicts. That is 3,300 fewer people than last fall. Beirut bank stormed by angry protesters. Dozens of people reportedly besieged the Swiss Lebanese bank in Beirut and attacked 3 employees, while demanding access to tens of thousands of dollars in a bid to alleviate dire living conditions in Lebanon. Footage taken Monday in the Hamra neighborhood of the Lebanese capital allegedly showed people throwing bank documents from the building's windows. SoftBank cuts its robotic business. SoftBank Group Corp is cutting jobs in its global robotic business and has stopped producing its famous people robot that detects whether people wear face masks and, if not, tells when to wear them. War. U.S. warplanes strike Iranian-backed militias in Iraq, Syria. The U.S. said Sunday it carried out another round of airstrikes against Iranian-backed militias in Iraq and Syria, this time in response to the militias' drone attacks on U.S. personnel and facilities in Iraq. Rockets and mortars hit U.S. base in Syria in retaliation for airstrikes against Shiite militia. A base used by U.S. troops in eastern Syria near the Omar oil field in Deir ez-Thor province was hit by rockets and mortars on Monday. The attack appears to be in retaliation for U.S. airstrikes over the weekend. Good Samaritan disarms attacker who had killed cop, but ends up killed by another officer. Arvada, Colorado. Police confirmed that last Friday that one of their officers shot and killed a Good Samaritan who confronted an attacker who had killed another department officer and prevented a further loss of life. 007 agents aren't what they used to be. The appearance Sunday of highly classified documents linked to the incursion of a British warship into Russian waters near Crimea, days after it occurred, sets off all the alarms in the UK. According to British state broadcaster BBC, the 50-page dossier relating to the Defender mission in the Black Sea was apparently found by a passerby in a pile of garbage behind a bus stop in Kent on Tuesday morning. Bizarre news. Mexico approves the legal use of marijuana. The plenary of the Supreme Court of Justice in the nation approved Monday by majority the legal use of marijuana in Mexico. With 8 votes in favor and 3 against, the judges of the court pronounced themselves in favor of this plant after the Mexican Congress failed to issue a law to guarantee the right of users to consume the plant, despite the fact that the Supreme Court gave it 3 extensions to discuss and approve this issue. NASA shows the image of a violent cosmic butterfly that stings like a bee. NASA has published an impressive image taken by the Hubble telescope of the nebula NGC 6302, also known as the Butterfly Nebula, and located in the constellation of Scorpio, at a distance of 3,400 light-years from the Earth. The space agency indicated that this butterfly is much more violent than it appears at first glance. Clouds near Jupiter could support life. Clouds near Jupiter have the right combination of temperature and water activity to support Earth-like life, the study says. We didn't expect that at all, said Dr. John Halsworth, who described the discovery as profound and exciting. An ancient cosmic catastrophe may have affected early human societies. The impact event is suspected to be the cause of a mini ice age that lasted more than 1,000 years. The collision of comet fragments with our planet approximately 13,000 years ago may have had an impact on the lifestyle of human society. Known as the Younger Dryas impact, the event wiped out several large animal species and even triggered a mini ice age that lasted over 1,000 years. The impact theory was originally proposed in 2007, and now researchers at the University of Edinburgh suggest that a large body of evidence supports the theory that the comet hit about 13,000 years ago. This great cosmic catastrophe appears to have been commemorated on the giant stone pillars of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, possibly the world's first temple, which is linked to the origin of the Fertile Crescent civilization in Southwest Asia. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.